Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this Warcraft Rumble video I want to talk about 7 minis that everyone should have in their collection for PvE. Some of the minis are minis that you will use in your army practically in every mission against every boss, and some are minis that you will only put in your army for very specific bosses, but they make such a huge difference that you really want them. So let's take a look at the 7 minis that you really need for PvE. And coming in at number 7 is Execute. Yes, the Horde spell Execute. I mean, Horde spell Execute, what does it do? It chops off half of the health of an even leveled mini. Just half of the health is gone. That's beautiful. It doesn't quite deal 50% health damage to bosses, but it actually does deal quite a bit of boss damage too, so sometimes it's useful to just chop at the boss as well. And Execute is super strong in the Dire Maul dungeon. When I'm recording this video, it's currently Dire Maul week. Of course, that's a weekly rotation, so Dire Maul is not always playable. But when it's Dire Maul week, Execute on the first boss is going to make their minis fight against each other, Execute the healer in the last boss, and you're going to have so much easier time killing that. So Execute, one of the minis that everyone should have in their collection. And number 6 is Polymorph. If you have had problems with a mini, Polymorph can just make all your problems go away. Say there's an ogre mage and you have harpies and boom, your harpies are about to explode. Don't worry, just polymorph that ogre mage. Harpies will eat it after that. Polymorph is a useful spell in many encounters where there's a specific mini or even a couple of minis that you have difficulty dealing with otherwise with the comp that you would want to run, and then Polymorph just completely turns the matchups around and boom, allows you to win. At number 5 we have Gargoyle. Gargoyle is an essential mini for beating some of the sturdier bosses, including Falstad in Hinterlands. Falstad is a flying boss. Hey, I went in there with the Grommash army. Grom couldn't even hit Falstad. No worries, Gargoyle. A bunch of Gargoyles just eventually solo Falstad. Falstad doesn't need any other damage dealers against it than Gargoyles. Gargoyles are just that good. Then again, sometimes the AI chooses to use stuff like Gargoyles and stuff like Molten Giants against you, and that hurts. Sure, there's ways to deal with those with elemental damage, but you can also take them for yourself. And sometimes when there's just swarms of these big things coming, it's easier to just grab some of them for yourself than just try to destroy them. And that's where Banshee comes in. Banshee can steal Gargoyles, Molten Giants. Banshee can even steal those pesky Ogre Mages. I hate Ogre Mages, by the way. But there are also some minis that you don't want to play Banshee into. Let's say Firehammer or Stonehoof Tauren, because those are actually so fast that when Banshee tries to steal them, they will just kill Banshee instead. So the first 4 minis on this list were situational, but then we have 3 minis that are universally useful. And coming in at number 3 is Quilboar, the quintessential unbound tank. You drop this behind an enemy tower or enemy caster or anything while your DPS are approaching. The caster turns around, the DPS eat it, and boom. Also, when there's a chest, no one's looking, you can drop a Quilboar out there and grab the chest for yourself. Quilboar does have an alternative. Earth Elemental is a somewhat viable substitute. Earth Elemental can't take chests and it doesn't hit into enemy minis, but it's actually stronger against towers and bosses, so both have their upsides and downsides, but Quilboar is the more versatile unbound tank. At number 2 we have the ultimate damage dealer unit in the game, and that's Harpies. Harpies are super fast, Harpies deal a ton of damage. Harpies are a squad, so they can just get so many hits in. You can even give Harpies poison with a talent. If needed, you can even make Harpies miners with a talent, then they're super fast flying miners. Although, don't pick that mining talent as your first talent because it makes Harpies more expensive and it's useless in minimaps. It's very situational. Just take some more damage for Harpies because Harpies are all about that damage. And finally, the best all-around mini in the game, and that mini is S.A.F.E Pilot, the ultimate mini. It's a spell basically, it's a damage spell, boom, and then there's still a mini in that, and that mini deals ranged damage, and that ranged damage is also AoE damage. Wow, it's just so much damage, so flexible, unbound, you can use it anywhere, it can take chests, it can destroy squads, it can support your tanks, it can do just everything in this game. And best things don't have to be expensive. S.A.F.E Pilot is actually one of your starter minis. You already have S.A.F.E Pilot in your collection. Just take care of your S.A.F.E Pilot. Nurture her, let her grow, get her some levels. and she's going to be so strong. I actually sometimes take S.A.F.E Pilot away from my decks just so that I would sometimes end up playing without her, but she's just so good that you could have her in every deck at all times and you wouldn't feel too sorry. So those are the top 7 minis everyone should have, that everyone needs for PvE. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.